We got our first ever look at max level gameplay from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, including a fight against a max level boss, Medusa. So let's get into it. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go. During Gamescom, I got to play a new section of the game where we started at level 50, so the max level, and could do a max level quest. I was told that there will be more like this in the game that reward you with some of the best gear and weapons. And by the way, to get to this point in the game, you need to play at least 80 to 100 hours. So that is pretty insane, showing you once again that Odyssey has way more content than Origins. And I got to be honest, like when I heard that number, I was like, okay, whoa, hopefully Ubisoft will do enough to make the whole journey as fun as, for example, the journey we had in Origins. Anyway, back to the mission. We are on Last Boss, one of the many high-level zones in the game. And here you find a lady called Breeze, who is missing her love, Legia. And I hope I pronounced it right. Anyway, she is captured by a so-called creature. And later you go to the place where she went missing. It's a dark forest where you see a lot of people turned into stone. And you find out that you need a key, a disc, to open the door. You hear that this disc might be on an island called Xios, that is also for level 50 players. There's a camp there that is very well protected, but in one of the chests inside that camp there will be the key. And yes, I said well protected, well there are two bears protecting this treasure. So I kind of want to like walk you through this quest because I want this video to focus more on the boss fight, but I still want to give you some context. Anyway, you get back with the key and they can open the door and have to follow Breeze, who immediately like goes in, and then you follow her and see that creature.
Breeze, wait! Ligia! Ligia! Malaka. Breeze! You have no idea what... Breeze! Only one myth speaks. Here? Here? It's me, Breeze.
So yes, goodbye Breeze. Now we get into this max level boss fight that can be pretty tough for sure if you don't know what to do. But I think that by the time you reach the max level in the main game, you will totally be fine. You see the Overpower Attack, by the way, from the daggers here, because in this Gamescom demo you could play with all the weapons, and I will have footage of all of them in upcoming videos as well. So yes, it's like an insane long version of the Overpower Attack from the regular swords. Here I switched to the Heavy Blade that kinda has the same Overpower Attack as the Heavy Blunt weapon in Odyssey. Like there's no Fury mode anymore, like that your screen turns yellow like we saw in Origins. And after you killed all the allies from Medusa, it's time to do some damage to Medusa herself. Although like doing damage from close by is not so smart. And now she kind of has two things she will do. A laser beam that if it hits you for long enough, it will make you turn into stone, slowing you dramatically. And you don't want that because after the beam she does some sort of AoE attack that will be harder to dodge if you are turned to stone. So yes, shooting headshots is the key here because it gives you adrenaline back that you can use to stay in the fight by, for example, using the second wind ability that heals you. Here I was pretty good at dodging though, so I saved up the adrenaline to get the Overpower Attack from the daggers. And if you watched my previous videos with the E3 footage, then you know that the Overpower Attack first was 2 adrenaline segments, but now they changed it because now it cost 3, and I have to admit, like, 2 was pretty overpowered. So it's pretty obvious that they changed it. So yes, this way you can do a ton of damage, and these daggers aren't even legendary, like they only had epic in this build. So yes, then we get away and she will summon her allies again, only this time she'll be doing attacks while you fight these new enemies. I killed these guys pretty fast though, thanks to the heavy blades and the best warrior ability called Battle Cry of Ares. This gives you a 50% damage boost for 20 seconds, and also every hit received boosts the attack damage as well, and during this time all the enemy attacks are non-lethal, so you can just keep fighting without having to worry. So now I tried to do the same tactic, like building up adrenaline by shooting headshots, although I had more issues staying out of trouble. I was told that the Spartan kick would stun here, and yes it did, but my Overpower Attack was likely a smarter choice. And yes, it's not a guaranteed hit, she blinked away here. I was only one headshot removed to get her in the final phase though, that summoned even more enemies. And this got way harder with way more guys with shields as well, so I had to play passively and focus on the second wind ability to heal myself. But even if you got like the necessary adrenaline, the ability still has a cooldown, so you need to be careful until you can do it again. And trust me, that can be hard with many enemies following you around, and the attacks that Medusa is throwing at you will not help as well. Of course, you have to watch your arrows too, so luckily you can craft them during battle for some wood that you can find in the world, and yes, those arrows helped a lot to kill these guys off one by one. Now it was time to focus on Medusa again, only I was reminded again that getting close is not so smart, so now I needed to hit those headshots to get the adrenaline that is needed to heal myself. And since the attack pattern of Medusa did not change, this last phase was more like testing your focus. Can you keep hitting her and dodge her incoming attacks without dying? Yes, it worked out luckily. I did die once, of course I will not show you that footage, but my second try was enough to take her down. And now you can loot her, but first you will see a cutscene.
Someone, I tell you, in another time, will remember us.
So the loot is the prize of Medusa, a quest item, the Medusa Vigor hat for on your ship, and a new legendary sword that is really good, the Harp of Perseus with the awesome cooldown reduction perk. But yes, this was sadly where my play session ended, so I could not use the weapon yet, but I will try and use them in my next play session that is actually tomorrow. Maybe I will show you the Medusa Vigor hat as well, but yeah. The promise of more quests like this on the max level is, I think, totally awesome. I only worry that the tactic I used here, so shooting headshots and then healing yourself with the second wind ability that heals like a lot if you like upgrade the ability a lot. I think it will be the best tactic, like against all these bosses. Like, I can't think of one boss where this would not work, and you will also do a lot of crit damage in the process. Again, it's hard to say, and also I don't know how limited your arrows are like in the main game. I obviously already had a ton of wood when I started the demo, but like overall I do like these fights that add some nice variety to the game as well. It was kinda a sort of Trial of the Gods light, I would say. It was kind of comparable, you could say. And I did like the world around it as well, this sort of forest, and then you got into this temple. So it was cool to explore for sure. But I did way more in my Gamescom play session, like look at the mercenary system, engraving, and way more. So totally keep an eye out on the channel for everything Assassin's Creed Odyssey from Gamescom. Drop a like to support the channel, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.